peace, and prosperity, y'all. Love and light to Zai Ziara, the goddess XTC in the building. And if you've seen the title or you've seen the thumbnail, I know what you're thinking. But hold on, stay to the end of the video, hear me out, because this video could potentially shift your whole paradigm and have you quantum leap in your ascension journey, okay? So it all started with a shroom trip. Something that I thought was gonna be light, you know. I was just microdosing a little bit after a really taxing day, and I believe it was a new moon or full moon and something, and I really wanted to do like a goddess ritual or whatever, you know, microdose, do a little self-care, just put my son to sleep and take a goddess bath or whatever. So I did a little microdose of some shrooms, and then to top it off, I think I took a marijuana gummy edible or whatever. Lord, who told me do that? Because those two combined triggered something and had me tripping. So anyway, it was subtle at first. So I'm, you know, taking my goddess bath or whatever. I'm vibing. And, you know, I'm starting to feel it. The water is looking like real, like alive. You know, water is alive if you didn't know. But it's looking really alive. It's looking like solid, or in a way, like it looks like jello. That's the best way I could describe. The water is looking jello, it's looking solid, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so that's how I knew, you know, the shrooms was kicking in or whatever, but I didn't know that, you know, how far it was gonna peak at that moment. So at the time, I believe I was listening to a pick a card. No, I was listening to YouTube zodiac reading or whatever. The reader, her name is not coming to mind, but her face is Energy, something Energy, shout out to you. Sorry, she's always talking about, you know, 0.01% is checking out her video, and I just happen to be part of that 0.0001%. So anyway, she was going through all the zodiac signs, and I was listening to my sign at first. And I kind of just let the video play out because I didn't want to keep touching my phone and get it wet, you feel me? So it was crazy because, like, at that point in time, Source was actually showing me how, like, I'm all the signs, you're all the signs. We're not just our sun sign. We have all the different signs within our chart. And you should not just identify yourself with just your sun sign. You're not just that. So anyway, while I was listening to all the signs, you know, it seemed like all the signs were connecting, like as if it was just one long reading. Whereas initially, you know, you just go click on your sun sign and you click out. You know, I listened to all the signs and everything resonated like it was a long story. So, and it was crazy because it was like, I was so in tune into the reading that I kid you not, like, even when the reader would pause and be like, are you getting this? Or I would say something in my mind, the reader would be like, yes, confirmation, as if like we're speaking on the phone, even though she pre-recorded that video and uploaded it and I'm now watching it, you know? It was very in tune. Like, I was very tapped in, and the reading very much resonated, was like giving me all the info, and I feel like it was a back and forth with my spirit guides, you know, deciding if I was ready to move forward and move forward into a new love connection, or if I was gonna go back to the old love connection. Like, what was I gonna do? And as we kept going through each of the signs, kept ping ponging, bouncing back, like, oh, you know, this person, this past soulmate is trying to contact you, and I would be like, you know, in my mind, and it would be like, oh, this new person, it wants to come into your life, and know you've been dreaming about them, and I'm like, I don't even want them to come into my life yet, you know, I'm chilling right now, you know. And so, like, yeah, it just kept ping-ponging. Fast forward now, there was a point in time in the goddess bath where, like, I kind of like was like really peaking off the shrooms, and so I just kind of paused and was like really still, because I felt like, if you ever, you know, experimented with psychedelics, you know, you get this body high where it just like feels very euphoric, really blissful, and like you want to just kind of like stay still and just allow the trip to take you wherever it needs to take you. So I allowed myself to do that. And I kid you not, like, while I was in the water, I was very much aware that I was an avatar, and there were higher beings, higher forces doing downloads or upgrades on my vessel while I was in the water. Kid you not, it reminded me of the part in the Avatar movie where you see the avatars in the incubations and they're like in the water levitating type shit. Like I was literally in the water levitating, and like my heart was like coming out the water, and I felt like beings doing something to me. Like I it wasn't like a physical feeling, but it was like I was conscious that something was happening to me right then and there. And in my mind I was like, what's happening? And then a voice was like, downloads, upgrades, you know. And so I was like, okay, trust in the process, feel me? Fast forward now, the part everybody is waiting to hear about. Okay, so fast forward now, there was a part within like my spiritual bath that like I kept getting this message, this idea to baptize myself in the waters. And so, you know, I did a little cute baptism, you know, dip my face in the water because I just did my hair. I wasn't trying to get my hair wet, okay? And then like the voice kept saying like, oh, dip yourself again, you know? And so I'm like, okay, I dip my face again, you know, a little bit more. There's like, oh, you know, dip your whole body in the water. And I was like, no, can't get my hair wet, okay? And so then the voice was like, oh, you know, you don't have to worry about your hair no more, and you don't have to worry about the cleanup on this, that, and the third, and you just don't have to worry about that stuff no more. Like, you know, when you dip yourself this time, you know, you're gonna ascend to a different plane, this, that, and the third. This is what the voice is telling me. So I'm listening to the voice, I'm like, that sounds really good, because Lord knows I'm tired of cleaning up this place, and I'm tired of doing my hair, and I'm just tired of a lot of different of this human-ish. I'm tired of a lot of the human-ish, that the mundane tasks, this, that, and the third. So like I feel like it was playing on, you know, my feelings or whatever. And so like so I was like, you know, I was kind of letting go and be like, well, what is hair? You know what? So what? I could, you know, like the voice was saying, so what if my hair get wet? I could just get it done again. It's just hair. So what? You know, I could pay somebody to come clean the place. Whatever the, you know, whatever the case may be. I start, you know, detaching, stop making excuses for, you know, moving forward into this opportunity. But here's when things started to get a little sus. So the voice was telling me like, yeah, baptize yourself in the waters, where you're going, you know, no, the voice was telling me like, convincing me like, baptize yourself in the water and stay in the water for a little bit longer, this, that, and the third. Aren't you tired of doing this earth thing? Like, how many times you gonna come back and live this life and suffer and learn these lessons? Like, aren't you tired of shit? And sure enough, at that point in time, I had a long day and I really was tired of this earth shit. Like, I was like, yeah, I kind of am tired of the suffering and the pain and the lessons, and like, I'm good off of this. Like, hope this is my last reincarnation. Like, I'm really good off of this. So the voice was like, oh, yeah, dip your head in the water, you know, come on home, your story's gonna be that you drowned yourself from heartbreak, and you know, after that you'll be good, you know. And so I was like, that ain't sound right. I was like, wait, huh? What do you mean I drowned myself from heartbreak? Like that ain't sound right. I was like, wait, that's not how my story ends. Huh? What about my baby? What about my mom, my dad, my siblings? Like, what about my family? Like, this would crush them if that was how my story ended. I cannot do that. And so then I started to realize this voice that's talking to me is not who I think it is. So I was like, okay, I know who I'm talking to now. And I was not scared. I was not scared or anything, even though I was really, really high. You know, when you mess with these psychedelics or even just with marijuana, you gotta understand, like, these are gateway portal plant medicines that open up different realms and make you very susceptible to these different energies and these different spirits to be in communication with you. It's like it makes the veil really, really thin. So like, this wasn't my first trip, you feel me? So like, and I don't know why, I've just grown like this spiritual like gangsterism where like I'm just not scared, because honestly there's nothing to fear, you know. The Most High is within your vessel. It ain't nothing for you to fear. Plus you got angels, you got ancestors, and you got aliens that's backing you up. You got the 3 A's that's on your side, always present, you know, holding you down. So I very much was not scared. So anyway, so this voice was like, that's when I was like, okay, time for me to get out of this bath and like drain the water, because, you know, there's something trying to influence me in taking my life. And that's where, you know, I was like, okay, it's getting really intense. And to prevent myself from having a bad trip, you know, I had to very much like be mindful, ground myself, center myself in truth. And so that is, you know, not a task or challenge for me to do. I'm very much grounded in my truth, in my identity of who I am as a vessel for the Most High God. So like, you know, whatever that entity was trying to do, it could not succeed, not with this vessel. Okay, so that was that on that. So I actually heard the voice laughing in my head like, ah, man, you know, like, almost. And I was like, nah, never. And the voice was like, oh, well, how does it feel to know that I need you and I love you too? And when I tell you, right then and there, how I seen the devil really change. Like, before, you know, I just grew up knowing the devil is bad, you gotta hate the devil. But then I really was able to see it for what it is. And I was like, wow, you too are loved, misunderstood. You are on the opposite spectrum of love, which is hate, but hate is still love. It's just love misunderstood. And I was like, wow. You know what? I don't hate you. I actually feel bad for you. You're suffering. Misery loves company. So that's why you wanted my soul. You wanted me to take my own life and be miserable with you. But sorry, boo. That's just not what was about to go down. Okay? And so, yeah, that sat with me for like a very long time. That night, I could not go to sleep. I was way too high. I was way too high. The little bit of shrooms mixed with that gummy, I done took off. I was damn near levitating, okay? I could not even eat. I was trying to like eat some fruits to just calm the high down a little bit. And when I tell you, like, I felt like such an alien. Like I really felt like a spirit within a human body, and it felt mad foreign. Like I was looking at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, what the hell is that? Like, like, okay, that's my body that I'm borrowing from Mother Earth, but like, it just looks mad weird. Like it just looked weird. Like I knew for sure that I'm really not from here. Like it was confirmation. And but yeah, so I told the entity to remove itself from my presence, you know. I also told the entity that I love it. I was like, listen, I love you. I thank you for coming and blessing me with your presence, because you actually gave me a deeper understanding of what you are. And now I'm going to integrate you back into my own being, because we are connected. And I don't hate you, and I don't cast you out and separate myself from you. What I'm going to do is love on you. I'm going to accept you, and you're just going to have no choice but to leave from my presence, because you can't hide in any shadows around here. Now the light is shining on you. You are exposed. And that experience has shifted my reality to a non-duality type of perception and perspective, because honestly, we all have shadow, we all have darknesses within ourselves. You know, some people try to pretend like it's all love and light, and yes, we do strive to make sure that we are able to transmute it into love and light, but we do have shadows, we do have darkness, you know. And so when the shadow and the darkness comes and confronts you, fear not, chosen one. Fear not, blessed and highly favored one. Fear not, love and light. Fear not, okay? They are no match for you. This is just misunderstood fractal of your total existence. And it was very weird, but I can say that the experience was weird. And I've had many different experiences with other forces trying to reach out, non-human forces reaching out to me, and I'll be creating more videos and story times on that, because I've been just kind of holding it to myself. And now that, you know, we're entering this new earth in the 5D, I feel like it's time for me to be very transparent on these experiences that I've been having, and you know, reach out to any others who are having these experiences too, so we could powwow and talk about it and not, you know, feel shamed or feel, you know, like we gotta hide these parts of our beings, because there's so much more to existence than earth and humans. There's so much more, you know. The government knows. Everybody knows. It's hidden in plain sight, okay? So let's embrace it, let's integrate it, and let's ascend together, okay? So long story short, that is the time that I was able to speak to the devil and have empathy for it, because that nigga is stressed and suffering and don't know what to do with him herself. And I pray for it. I pray for it, okay? May you find love and may you find light, okay? And that's just that on that. And if you stayed to the end of the video, shout out to you. You a real one. And I know you chosen. I know you chosen if you stayed to the end of this video. That's just that on that. How I know you chosen? Because you chose yourself. And you working on yourself and you loving on yourself and you ascending. And that's just that on that. Okay? Thank you so much once again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you had any type of like experiences similar to like the ones I had, or like any trippy encounters, let me know in the comments. Like, I got so many other stories that need to be told, and I'm gonna get them out within this month, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on for that, because yeah, you won't believe some of the things that I've experienced, okay? So yes, love and light and everything that you guys do. I love you. Source loves you. Love on yourself even more, because you are so worthy and deserving, okay?